Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. This week, Martha's back home, Tish has got a new job, and Reggie Yates is also there. I realized I didn't have time for the title. I usually say the title of the episode.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I didn't realize until the end. But the title is the Lazarus Project or Experiment. Wait,
it's the experiment.
The Lazarus Experiment. Sloppy from me, but hello, we're not going to fix it. Welcome to Still Got Legs, the Doctor Who Rewatch podcast. My name's Nathan. I'm the main host. I'm joined by Lawrence, who is the lesser second co-host. Hello, how are you?
Okay.
Thank you for joining me on my podcast.
Oh, come on now. Why are we introing it like this? This is just I'm just catching strays here for no reason.
I like to think the way we have our podcast empire divided up, I like to think that Still Got Legs is my podcast, whereas Another Happy Pod is our podcast. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? Like, I let you be on Still Got Legs. Okay?
Right, okay, yeah.
You're the special guest. Like, really, it should be Nathan Bauer featuring Lawrence Isaac, because...
But you see, that's a double-edged sword, because the benefit of it being entirely your entity and I'm just allowed to be here is that there should be absolutely zero burdenful to me. And I know you edit this typically, but on the weeks you can't, like you've told me in advance, next week is one of those weeks.
Lawrence, I'm in Greece next week.
That shouldn't be my problem, Nathan. I don't fucking...
Shut up, bitch. Do your job. Anyway, this is our Doctor Who podcast. Did I say this? I think I did. And this week we're talking about the Lazarus Experiment, which is, of course, Series 3, Episode 6. It is written by Stephen Greenhorn and directed by Richard Clarke. Two names which are quite rare in Doctor Who. They don't appear that regularly. They have cropped up here and there, but not mainstays of the show.
Greenhorn. That's a good name.
It is a good name, isn't it? Greenhorn. Like a superhero name, really, isn't it?
The worst superhero ever, but like, look at my green horn.
Isn't that one called, who's that one? The
Green Hornet.
Yeah, that's him. The Green Hornet.
Or I was about to say the Hudson Hornet, but that's the car.
That's the guy from Cars. That's Doc Hudson.
Yeah, but I like those names where it's like, it's something. It's an object. It could be something else.
Yes.
Anyway, what else did they direct?
I don't know.
All right. What do you know what else they did?
Prior to this, I don't know, because I delete everything off my list that we've done. I can't immediately see anything for Stephen Greenhorn, but I can see quite a notable episode in Series 6 directed by Richard Clarke, and that is The Doctor's Wife.
Oh, okay, right.
Quite a big one. So yeah, there we go.
And that was the writer, sorry.
That's the director, that is.
Okay.
That episode was famously written by Neil Gaiman.
Ah, I see, okay.
Yes.
So the director has under his belt one classically, critically acclaimed, well-received episode.
And this one.
And this one as well. Where are you at with the Lazarus Experiment as a whole?
Look, we're halfway through the season.
We're in that dip that we talk about, aren't we? We're in they've done the bangers for a bit.
Yeah, we've just had a two-part. They can take their foot off the gas a little bit and just let's just have a meandering one, I guess.
Yeah.
A nice
they can coast off the goodwill of the Daleks for like a few episodes now at least.
We had Tallulah, we had Andrew Garfield, we had the Daleks, we had questions about humanity and moral ethics and all that sort of stuff. And
we get a bit more of that later in this one.
Yeah, kind of, but like it's all wrapped up in a package that's mediocre.
Yeah, at best, I would argue.
Yes. But so we kick things off with the Doctor taking... Well, first of all, we kick things off as we left it with a beautiful, crisp blue suit, Lawrence.
I noticed it doesn't take him long to get out of that horrendous blue suit.
3 episodes in a row he's been in it now. I think that's breaking the brown suit record.
Well, I mean, it's not, because the entirety of season 2 was the brown suit record.
But for series 3, it is. So there you go.
Is that how it works? Does the slate get wiped clean with every new season?
Yes, it does.
Fine. Okay. Well, then I will take that point. Yes, lovely blue suit. Sort of. They're around the TARDIS. The Doctor's talking about how he has to land in a tight spot.
Yes.
And it's hard to do that in the TARDIS. I think he's showing off again because it's not hard to do that in the TARDIS, and we've seen that.
Well, it is and it isn't. It is when it's convenient for the plot.
I mean, yeah, but that is exactly the definition of I think he's showing off again. Like, he's making something up to seem cooler.
I don't think he's making something up. I think you're right.
You know, it's bloody hard on Gallifrey, right? I passed my test, no minors on this one. I'd get myself out of a pickle.
I believe it's canon that he failed the test.
Was there a test?
I believe it's mentioned at some point there was a test and that he failed.
Have we spoken about a TARDIS driving test before? It rings a bell.
Don't think on the podcast.
Do we talk about this off the podcast? We have enough outlets to talk about Doctor Who at this point.
We talk about a lot of stuff off the podcast
that should be saved for the podcast. Yeah. But do you not get the showy offy vibe? Because in Fear Her, he landed it and was like, "Oh, I fucked it. Let me just back up again."
Lawrence, what did I say about you saying you fucked it?
I'm in trouble for saying I fucked it. Apparently,
you are.
Apparently, it gives off some sort of connotation.
It does. It gives off weird vibes. Stop it.
I think you're a dirty man if you can only use that word in that context.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Great.
Does he not give off showy offy vibes, though?
No. Well, a little bit. Well, no. I was too distracted by the beautiful blue suit, if I'm being honest. I was like,
just blinding your eyes.
Yeah. Is it growing on you?
See, the thing is, I've never... It's not the blue suit itself. It's the combination of the red shoes, and I don't like it with the brown coat. The blue suit itself is fine. When he's not wearing the coat and he's got different shoes on, which I think he does pair the blue suit with some white Converse from time to time, right?
From my memory, it's always the burgundy Converse.
I thought it was always the burgundy tie. I didn't know he doubled.
No, because sometimes it's no tie. Next week,
that's
no
true.
tie.
Oh, yeah,
but Four episodes in a row?
No. You can't count that. He takes it off for the most of this episode.
Yeah, but it's still in the episode that he's wearing it, though.
We started this show, we were like, there's so many insightful, cool things to talk about in Doctor Who that frequently go amiss just to talk about the big episodes. We're like, let's dive in and really dissect all the good meat that there is in the lesser appreciated episodes.
Oh, he's wearing a funny suit.
Yeah, it's 90% suit talk and me getting cross at the sonic screwdriver.
Yeah. That's what you come here for.
It's growing on me, yes, but I also know that it's short-lived because it doesn't hang around. Does it hang around much for season 4?
Probably less so, I think. It's definitely in it.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing it in some of them, but not a lot.
When there's 2 doctors at the end of season 4, one of them's in brown, one of them's in blue.
Oh yeah, but that's plot critical, isn't it?
That's so you can tell the difference.
That's necessary.
Yeah.
I think they should have really stuck to their meat on that one and just had the other David Tennant, the new David Tennant Doctor, be just fully naked for the whole episode.
I would not have complained.
No, I don't think many people would have done, to be fair.
No, he's a handsome man.
It's like, this show's fucking shambles, honestly. Why does anyone listen to this?
I don't know. I don't know why they do.
No, but the reason I'm saying he's showy offy is because I think he's acting cool. Like, he's like,
okay.
He lands the TARDIS and he's like, that's tough to do. We've already spoken about that. But then he's like, and Martha's like, where are we? And he's like, end of the line. And then she's like, oh, cool. Like, oh, wow, what could be out there? And he's like, no place like it. It's like, we're in Martha's living room.
Yeah.
There's nothing flashy or showy about it, but he just has to find something to say that is more elusive.
Isn't that no place like home? That's what he was.
You say that to be like, I'm cool, don't you? Like, you walk into someone's living room and they're like, I'm home. You don't go, no place like it, without thinking you're cool.
Yeah. Well, I probably just wouldn't say that, to be honest.
Yeah, because that's right, because it's weird. Yeah,
it's a weird thing to say, if I'm being honest with you. It's not a part of my everyday vernacular, really.
Yeah.
Do you think he was intending to actually drop Martha off home? Where are you at with this? Do you think he would have actually gone, right, see ya, I'm off?
It's tough to say.
It is, because, like, he does stick around, but only after there's an intriguing thing.
Yeah, but 10 has, as this show...
He's got it.
Like, and fans of the show knows. Yeah, he's like he's got a vanity problem. Right.
Well, yes, he does.
He's got this kind of pathological need to be liked. At least, yeah. Like, he wants to be the coolest person in the room a lot of the time.
Yeah. So
like, when stakes are low.
Do you think he's keeping Martha around because, like, she likes him?
No, I don't know if I get that vibe. I get the vibe that it's more like he wants the company of Martha, but has to keep up the illusion that he doesn't like the company of Martha.
Yeah.
Or at least isn't beholden to it, which he absolutely is.
He's trying to do the whole I'm a loner and mysterious sort of thing, and I don't like company. When really he's like, oh my god, I need company.
Yeah, and look, we know, right, that he got in the TARDIS, and Martha was like, oh, well, it's been lovely. Thanks for a good time.
Oh, you would have been sulking as soon as that door was closed.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean she doesn't care? Like, oh, like he's like kicking dust in the TARDIS. Like,
Murray Gold would have been doing some slow piano. He'd have been walking around the console as he just slowly pulls some levers that are close to falling off. And then he'd have drifted
knobs
off.
and the
Yeah.
the spoon or something sticking out the console.
If he did go away, he'd have only landed 5 seconds later and been like, oh, there's a fucking volcano on Uranus or whatever. Let's go see it.
And I need the help of you, a 21st century doctor.
Yes. Exactly.
Whose skill set is not applicable to this scenario whatsoever.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like it's either that or he got in the TARDIS, sonicked it to like autopilot it to leave, waited by the door for like a cool 5 seconds, and then came back out.
Yeah.
And it was like I don't think he was ever going to leave. I think he just wanted to keep up the illusion of I don't need this company. I'm letting you come with me. It's that vibe.
Well, we get a bit more of this at the end of the episode as well, don't we? So
yeah.
Maybe
But I think more emotionally mature. By the end of the episode.
Well, a little bit, yeah.
Still childish on the Doctor's part.
Not just the Doctor's part, to be honest. But yes. We'll come back to that. We'll loop back around. But yes, there is an intriguing thing that he sees, because whilst they are in Martha's little flat and he's playing with her underwear and there's a phone call from Francine, they notice that Tish is on the TV. She's not in Loki, but she is on the news, where she's got a job working for some guy.
Such a niche throwaway. No elaboration on that whatsoever.
It's a deep cut, one for the true fans.
That was one of your best. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
But yes, carry on. I know what you're building to.
Well, no, just Tish is on the news, and then there's old Mark Gatiss there, been like, "Hello, I'm old."
It's good makeup.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. In an episode which there's not many compliments I can pay for the way it looks, but yeah. the old man makeup, it's at least somewhat decent. Yeah.
It's a good era in Doctor Who for like the old man makeup. Like they do in a couple of episodes, we'll see like an imagined slightly older Tennant.
Well, we get 2 versions of an older Tennant coming up.
We do, and not the same.
Not yet. Strange, isn't it?
I think they're like differently older. Like one of them's like they're definitely a decade apart. I think. But like the Master's version, like maybe it's just within keeping of the Master's character, but like he's made him comically old. Like,
well, technically we get 3.
Yeah, the walking bullsack.
The little fucking Dobby thing as well.
You mean the ultra rare Battles in Time trading card scratch and sniff version of Doctor Who?
I'll go through my deck. I'm sure I've got him in there somewhere.
I had like 3 of him, and then I don't know what happened to all my cards. Do you remember when you started opening some, and that was going to be like something we did on the show?
Oh yeah, that quickly died.
Yeah, it died because like 3 weeks in a row we were like, oh, it's businessman number 3. Yeah. Everyone cares about this.
I got so many businessmen number 3.
Yes, you do. But speaking of old Mark Gatiss, right? I've got a note that just says, I forgot his actual name was Lazarus.
So did I. And this, I had it in my head. I was like, is his actual name Lazarus? I'm like, no, that's too dumb. There is no way that his actual name, it'll be like he works for, he's called it the Lazarus Project or something. His machine is the Lazarus machine. There's no way he's actually called, because that is too fucking dumb. But then nope, they're just straight away like, here's Dr. Lazarus. I'm like, oh my god.
And it's such a normal name elsewise. It's like Richard Lazarus. It's like, who had that surname? Like, where did that descend from?
It's just so on the nose, and it's just
it's on the nose. My thing with like the Russellisms of this era is that like normally you're absolutely right. Like in a normal Russellism where he's not going full cheese, but a little bit of cheese is welcomed.
Yeah,
it would be like Dr. Richard something of LazCorp.
Yeah, maybe.
It would be like something on the nose that people would go,
Lazarus.
"Oh, yeah."
I could accept Lazarus Laboratories, or even
Yeah.
if the project, like I said, it was called the Lazarus Project, because that would make some kind of sense.
Well, it would make sense if he named his accomplishment and like achievement in science after an extremely well-known like fable of a similar ilk.
I think it's a biblical thing.
Is
as
it?
These things often are. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, to have his name be that implies that he was like destined for this, and it's
Yeah.
like, no.
It really doesn't make any sense, to be honest. It's an incredible, either like the Lazarus fable story, whatever, just does not exist in the Doctor Who universe, and this is that version of it, or it's just the biggest fucking coincidence ever. This guy who just happened to be called Richard Lazarus did this thing. Yeah.
We can circle back round to this. But Tish shows her disinterest. The old man Lazarus does what every old man Lazarus or every old man does in a pub where like a young girl walks past and he's like, "You smell nice."
Yeah.
And it's just in front of his wife as well, I might add, like
Cold.
yeah, just straight up cold and also like real creepy. I've often wondered. I worked as a bartender for a while, and when you see these like old men types chatting up like 19-year-olds, I'm like, what do you think the outcome of this will be?
Yeah.
I'm not planning on it, right? But I'm late 20s and I'm not chatting up like a 19-year-old because I'm too old.
Yeah.
What do you think a 78-year-old man is going to be?
Yeah.
The other side of the stratosphere of being too old, basically.
It's
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to that.
it's creepy, right?
It's
just
weird.
odd.
It's creepy, yeah. And I feel like Tish is very appropriate in her response, just being like, "Soap, fuck off, leave me alone."
It's a good one. I haven't heard that one before. It's a good one-liner.
Yeah, it was quite.
It is a good. I haven't heard that one when I do this to all the girls.
No.
Anyway, the Doctor's changed out of his repulsive, sick-inducing
No!
suits.
It's
And
beautiful.
he's put on. Is it the same tuxedo?
I feel. Well, here's the thing. If we're going by this podcast is so stupid.
It's so suit focused, isn't it?
Like, we're so serious about the fucking lore of the suits.
We will breeze over like the creation of the Daleks or something to talk about their paint.
But where
job.
did the suit come from?
You seen what kind of fabrics Davros is wearing in this scene? Where did he get them from?
That's why you listen to this.
Saying that though, Davros coming up does have a nice leather jacket on,
Lawrence,
doesn't he?
spoilers. Davros is not coming up. Okay.
Oh yes, apologies. He's not in the show ever.
No.
What is a Davros?
No, Dave Ross. Who's that? Never heard of him. What was I going to say? Right. No. Yes, because in the last time we saw David Tennant in a suit which looked similar to this, a black tuxedo, I will say, was the Cyberman two-parter from Series 2. Now, the way the episode played out, he was out of the TARDIS and he went to Pete's mansion, and then he was in the black suit, which implied that he got it from there. Okay.
Yeah.
I've just talked myself out at this point I was making. I was
He could have kept it, right?
Yeah, because he does go back to the TARDIS in the tuxedo, so he could have kept it. But then this episode, he's talking like he's had past adventures with it and stuff, and he pulls did he pull the Declaration of Independence out of it?
Something like that.
Yeah. So unless
he's done the adventures. Since
that is possible.
He went to the Declaration of Independence signing and was like, I know what I'll put on, an era-appropriate black tuxedo.
Look, Big Finish will take any amount of space you got and will cram like fucking 37 years worth of stories in there. So it's definitely possible.
Is there like Big Finish Clive related stuff?
Oh, I'd say almost certainly.
Like the Clive archives.
There's a funny
something.
meme on Twitter that Big Finish is just basically like how they decide their stories. It's just basically throwing a dart at a fucking board and seeing which cat. Because it's always like, oh, Jackie Tyler with River Song and Missy.
Yeah, I saw a poster for that this
like,
week.
what? Okay.
It's a pairing we've never seen in the show before, and they're like, let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
River Song and Jackie, I'd like to see. I'd just like to see more Jackie, if I'm honest. Completely.
I like to see more Jackie. Yeah, I'll never say no to more Jackie. But strange
yes.
pairings. But yeah, so it's possible that it is the same suit and he's had adventures since, however lonely. Oh no, he could have been with Rose, I guess.
Or he was with all the racist presidents on the Declaration of Independence. Yeah.
Maybe he took Rose to see. Maybe they went to go see Hamilton in 2015.
Maybe they did.
And then he went, oh, let's go see the real thing. And then it was like, oh, this is significantly less interesting. There's less hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's weirdly more racist.
A lot more racist.
Yeah. How did this happen?
Yeah.
He's like, I thought all these guys were really black. Like, what?
You're not
They're not.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. What's going on?
The doctor goes up to him and he's like, I don't know. He says some of the lyrics and then the other guy just arrests him or something. I don't know. A joke. Imagine I said a joke.
Wow. One of your best. One of your finest riffs, if there ever. What you just did there is you just laid out the bare bones of a joke, like the structure of a joke, but then just didn't bother to write it.
They get a podcast out of us. They can
That
can
is
write
the
the joke.
laziest. You fucking write it.
Yeah, it's like, there you go. Have it. Here's the cadence of something amusing. Now say it.
Here's the parameters of a joke. You imagine one for yourself.
It's like the equivalent of writing like a knock-knock joke template and being like, can someone make this funny for me, please?
Truly
Fill in the gaps.
incredible stuff.
Listen, none of that's important. We can move on from the embarrassing thing that happened to me.
Okay.
And talk instead about the cool thing that happened to the Doctor, which was being likened to James Bond. Which at first, like, it's that meme. You know, the woman's like, oh, maybe.
Yeah.
It's that meme. It's the turning head woman meme.
Oh, the Britney Blonsky or whatever her name is.
Sure.
The blonde, yeah.
Yeah, the blonde woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her name's Britney.
Okay.
Or is it Rebecca?
I didn't know it was Britney, so you're
It
asking.
might
the
not
wrong
be
person.
Britney. It might be. I don't know. I'm confused.
Everyone knows the funny meme of
Yes,
that
the
white woman
kombucha
who's
meme
like,
girl. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
But that's what it is. He likes
yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, who wouldn't like it?
I mean, yeah, it's true.
It's one of those classic man things, isn't it? It's
You mean I cut a fine figure in a suit?
James Bond. Ooh,
It shouldn't be though, should it? Like one of them things, because obviously, like all James Bond problems aside, you know, misogynistic, racist, everything else.
Yeah.
Alcoholic.
Is he racist?
Right. Yes, he dresses up as Japanese people
Oh, yeah.
of the era.
Roger Moore. But Roger Moore's just racist, isn't he?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. He just showed up on set like that. And they're like, Roger, what are you doing?
It's a good thing this is in the script.
Roger, you're supposed to be in a suit. Roger, no. And then he just refused to change.
But we don't mind, do we? Because, you know, good as Indiana Jones' dad in that movie. So.
That's Sean Connery.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it is.
You fool.
I was thinking... Wait, no.
You've been Madam Hooched.
I have been Madam Hooched. No, it is Sean Connery that does the...
Is it Sean Connery who does the Japanese thing?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
He's the
okay.
one that, he puts on the hat and he's like, I'm a lady as well as this insane stretch of the truth. I'm also deciding to be a lady in this scenario.
Okay. Well, bizarre.
There's going to be a James Bond fan out there that gets so cross at that. Probably none of that's accurate, but it does happen at some point. But yeah, where was I going with that?
I have no idea. Oh, the Doctor likes being called James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which fair
but
enough.
that's but more often, especially in this era, I guess Daniel Craig was the incumbent James Bond at the time, wasn't he? Young Daniel
2006 was
Craig, too.
Skyfall, I think. So, not Skyfall, Casino Royale.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he looks young and cool in that. All the other James Bonds have been like someone's granddad in a suit.
No, Daniel Craig is like, it's immediate, like, the Daniel Craig James Bond movies are immediately like, oh, young James Bond, he's just getting his 00. It's the origin of James Bond. And then immediately, you're out of touch, James Bond. You're a relic. You're a symbol of the past, an outdated weapon.
He ends the second movie that he's in being like, I'm so glad I finally passed my 00 test. And then the third one, it's like, you should have retired by now, you old fucking fossil. Like, we've already dug your grave. Go and get in it, you old bastard.
Good movies.
Anyway, the entirety... How have we not even got off the TARDIS yet?
No, we have.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's true, yeah. Did you find this quite funny? I know that the Doctor stressed it's like a time machine, and like... at the start of the episode, he was like, "See, you're back 12. You've probably been gone about 12 hours since the last time," which was the party. Whose birthday party was it?
Leo's, I think. Reggie Yates.
Yes, Reggie Yates' birthday party in Smith and Jones. So all of that happened in like 12 hours' time.
Yeah.
Martha's back. Her family were like, "We only saw you last night," and then someone else in Martha's family comes over and she's like, "Hello, how are you?" And he's like, "Well, since last night when you saw me last, I'm very good."
Yeah.
Basically, everyone that Martha speaks to is like, "God, it's been at least approximately 12 hours since we last had a conversation."
Yeah. They keep reminding us of the timeline. Yeah.
It's very funny.
You know, like normal humans do.
Yeah. Nathan, I'm so excited to be recording this podcast with you, like I was last week and the week before.
Yes, Lawrence, it has been 13 hours since we last spoke.
But yeah, something that you get in all of these like introductions and speaking to Martha's family, I always find strange when Martha's like, here's this guy that I'm with, by the way. So a lot of her family are like, "Oh, is she seeing this guy?
Yeah.
What's all this?" And then she's like, people are like, "Who's this guy? He seems a bit mysterious." And she's like, "He's just a normal guy. What's his name? The Doctor."
Yeah.
"Oh, Doctor what then? When did he pass his exams?" "No, it's just the Doctor."
Yeah.
That's never been normal.
It's not normal. It's weird. Yeah. No one ever questions it. Well, I feel like some people do question it, but it is weird. Is Francine okay?
Very paranoid.
She's so... I understand wanting to protect your daughter, okay? And, you know, and being a mother can't be easy. And wanting to look after and protect your daughter, she obviously loves her very much. She is the most insane, overprotective character ever in this episode. Like, I didn't think it was as bad as it was, but watching this episode, I was like, from her point of view, it's just that Martha's on a date, I guess, with a guy who's kind of appropriate age. Martha's what, mid-20s? Doctor would look around 30-ish.
I think Tennant in this era could pass for like an early 30s.
Early 30s, yeah. I think he was about 35, but it's...
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, but he could pass for like a young 30. So not too much of an age gap. And suddenly she's like, "Who the fuck are you? Like, also, what are you doing with my daughter?" Like, she's an adult. Like, she's a fully grown...
She can do what she wants,
She's training to be a doctor. And you're like, "Oh, was you fucking my daughter? Was you?" Like, okay.
Come back here, Doctor. We haven't had a conversation about you fucking my daughter.
It just seems very... And this was going to be my weirdo. This is what I was going to do. But throughout the whole episode, she's just so... And I understand why, because it plays into the paranoia of what comes later, really, and it's all like intentional. But there's
the show hasn't told us why that's important yet.
But still, at this point, though, there's still no one feeding her that paranoia until later in the episode. It still comes naturally from her to begin with. So, I don't know. It seems strange. I like Francine, but this seems strange.
That would probably be because it is strange.
Yes.
And yeah, she is slightly... she's operating too wild.
I mean, not to jump ahead, but she slaps him, which is fun.
Yeah.
She fully, like, just I don't understand the beef she has with him. Like, why is she so aggressively against him from the get-go?
It's strange. Their whole relationship, at least at this point, it feels like she's watched the show Doctor Who.
It does, yeah.
And when Martha's like, "Here's this guy," she's like, "No!
This is Doctor Who!
That's Martha! That's my little girl!"
Yes.
Yeah, very, very strange. And also, like, I like how it's like it's only Martha as well. Like, Tish can go and do... Tish works in a fucking laboratory with an old pervert.
Yeah.
And a machine that could, like, even at its highest functioning operating ability where it all works seems like it could easily fucking kill you in a second.
Francine sees a big scorpion eat someone, all of which was caused...
The doctor is to blame for this.
And then she's still screaming at Martha for being like, why are you following him? Like, Francine, there's bigger stuff going on, all right?
That's I was going to speak about this later, but that's just like, this is now is like a good entry point for it. Like there's something really interesting about this episode that is quite rare in Doctor Who, at least up until this point.
Yes.
Is that like this is a weird episode to make the case that danger and destruction follow the Doctor everywhere. Like this is your daughter's event.
Yeah,
she put this one together. Like
he just stumbled into this. This is just random happenstance. This would have happened without him there, really. Yeah,
and you're lucky he is in this instance.
This would be a classic turn left scenario. All right.
Oh, it would have been.
Yeah. So, what would have happened?
Someone, the machine would have gone off. It would have started overloading. Yeah. Someone would have gone over to turn it off, and they would have had it. They would have been immediately fucking liquidized by one of those big spinning prongs that is on the outside of the machine.
Everyone would have been nuked, I guess. Yeah. Although the Jones family probably would not be there.
Oh, because of the doctor and why she got the job. Yeah.
Well, no, because
it's
maybe
the Saxon thing, isn't it?
No, but also Martha would have died on the hospital on the moon.
Oh, that's true.
So
well, Tish still got to eat though.
The day after.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Not even 12 hours. Body's not even in the ground yet.
I forgot about it. I should have spoken to someone in Martha's family who could have told me it was only been 12 hours since.
Lawrence, we was here 12 hours ago.
Silly me. No, I've talked myself around it as well because it's all sponsored by Harold Saxon. So
it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's all manufactured in a way, I guess. Maybe Francine's right, to be honest.
She's not. No.
No.
It's still the level of aggression and beef she has with him. Even if someone is feeding her this paranoia beforehand, it's still too much.
It's like it is too much. Yeah, it's true. I'm not going to excuse it.
Yeah,
she plays a good Lady Danbury in Bridgerton, though. So
I don't know who that
soft
is.
Spot in my heart
I can only watch one show about royal people I don't like. Okay, I don't have.
These will be royal people you do like. Bridgerton's cool.
I don't have room for another one. Okay.
They dance to orchestral Taylor Swift music at their balls. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, now I've got you.
Yeah, if there was any way to get, you should have led with that.
What? Not Francine is in it as Lady Danbury.
No.
No, that's fair. I should have lent into that. What do you think of the design of the big Lazarus machine?
Okay, the machine. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, okay. The machine is fine, I think. Decent enough. Does the job. It's just like a big white box, I guess. And it's got some spinny boys on it.
I was trying to work out if it's similar to any previous design we've seen, if it was a reused prop.
A recycle one, was it?
Yeah. I don't think it was, but it looks... Because of how white and sleek it is, it looks like a spaceship prop.
Yeah, it could be. Things do often get recycled in Doctor Who props. I always remember just weird moments of Confidential sticking out to me. But I know that in next season, season 4, there's like a bathtub or something from the Pompeii episode, which is then recycled into the Sontaran in the next episode. So.
A Sontaran?
No, just the prop itself.
They're all Sontar-haring and chanting. You just pan around as a fucking bath.
Yeah.
I'm also a Sontaran.
We're all Sontar-haring.
We needed one more pivotal Sontaran for this, but all we had was a bath.
What happens next? So the box. What do you think of the box?
Yeah, it's good. I'll be honest. I don't have much to say on it other than it looks like it feels unsafe even before it is.
It does. Yeah. It does. If I'm in a room with that thing and it's spinning off and all these like lights and lasers are going off, I'm like, I don't know about this one, Chief. I feel like I might want to get out of here.
There are elements of this, and we can touch background on this.
It's a bit Captain America, isn't it?
Oh, see, my thing, again, something later in the episode happens. There's a lot of Raimi Spider-Man in this.
The Raimi Spider-Man stood out to me a little bit later. But
Yeah.
where's the Raimi Spider-Man? Oh, with Doc Ock, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not really a box thing, though, is it?
No, but it's more of like a stay back. He's got this under control kind of thing.
See, I had in my head when the Doctor goes to when it all goes wrong, and then the Doctor jumps up to the controls. I always had it in my head that we'd hear Mark Gatiss from inside going, "Stop! I can take it," but that's literally a scene from Captain America that I'm thinking about. So, yeah,
there are similarities with the Captain America thing as well, though. Like he comes out and then
and Peggy Carter touches his abs.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa, and that happens with
that old woman.
Yeah, Mrs. Lazarus or whatever she's called. Yeah, she doesn't have. She's like the top investor, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a name in the script. Yeah, there's something there. I've just got a big note that just says it's overloading with 18 question marks. Because it is overloading. And
it's one of those things, you don't need to really know what's going on. It's just, it's vague science, isn't it? Doctor Who loves it, some vague science. So
the computer is smoking, but from the monitor and not the computer part.
Yeah, the tower's on the floor, but don't worry about it.
I've said Dan, so obviously it works. Lazarus comes out and he's like, "I'm Mark Gatiss, I'm here."
Yeah.
I forgot how young he looked in this.
He looks so young. He's like a little boy, isn't he?
He is a little bit, and he looks new and shiny.
Where you at with Mark Gatiss?
Fine. I have no strong opinion of him other than he's brought up. I don't know whether he's talented, right?
In what respect?
He is talented in the way that he has been able to be in so many things whilst being only ever slightly so good at some of them.
Okay, that's the biggest backhanded compliment. Are you negging fucking Mark Gatiss?
I admire. He's right. And I don't mean this to. This is not of the same thing, but it's kind of what I'm getting at. It's my argument about Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Was he in Game of Thrones? Am I misremembering that?
I think you might be, but I also think he could be one of them fucking shoe sniffing weirdos in one scene. That's like, "Welcome to the brothel, sir," and then never on the screen again.
I think he was in Game of Thrones. Go on, continue. What was you saying? Lin-Manuel.
It's the Lin-Manuel Miranda argument of phenomenal at one thing.
Yeah.
That has opened the doors for him to do so many other things he's not good at.
You see, I when you bring up Lin-Manuel Miranda, I would have thought you would have suggested writing himself into shows and stuff.
Oh, and yeah, also that.
But I think it's different with Lin-Manuel, though. I think Lin-Manuel's has more of a right to do it than Mark Gatiss does, because Lin-Manuel
he conceptualized the thing.
Well, yeah, but Lin-Manuel is doing it because he was told that there's no place for him in the stories, and that he was told that if he wants to star in shows, you have to do your own. You have to make them yourself. So it was like, all right, fuck you, I will. I'll fucking do it then. And he did.
Oh, he's definitely got a cooler story than Rich Boy went to RADA.
Yeah, than Privileged White Boy. Yeah. This is one of at least 3 characters that I know of the top of my head that Mark Gatiss will play in Doctor Who.
Yeah, he's done this. He's done the Brigadier.
He's not the Brigadier. He's the Brigadier's dad. Yes. And then he's a weird monster with an eye patch who plays chess with Matt Smith.
I don't even remember that. That's fun.
Yeah.
My thing with him is I don't know whether he has I genuinely have no idea what the public perception of him is, but my perception of him is that a lot of my information on Mark Gatiss comes from laughing at his character in Sherlock.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say with a serious face if he's any good or not.
He was in Game of Thrones. He played a banker.
I knew he would have been one of those fucking shoe sniffing little weirdos that is never. Is he relevant in any capacity?
Well, Cersei went to him and was like, "We need more money," and he's like,
"Oh, the Golden Fleet or something." I remember that.
Something like that. Yeah.
He's like, "The Golden Fleet won't."
I'm sorry, my grace.
Yeah. He's got that voice, and he's got the hello voice.
He always plays privileged white boys.
Where are you at with him? I feel like that was more of a setup, and I took way too much of your time.
I'm never necessarily a fan of the episodes that he writes. I don't think.
Shout out some examples.
Well, not the end of the world. The Gelf one, whatever that one was called.
Oh yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. And if I'm looking at my list now, the next one he writes is Where are you, Mark?
Show yourself, Mark.
Victory of the Daleks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which isn't, there's some stuff in there which is
One half interesting, one half fucking dreadful.
yeah. What else? Night Terrors. No, it's not too bad. Cold War. Which one was Cold War? Which one was Cold War?
They're in the submarine and there's a monster chasing them in a submarine.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes.
That is like one of my last memories of the new era of Doctor Who.
Robot of Sherwood.
I know the title. I have no recollection of the episode.
Robin Hood.
What is this man? He's utterly sourceless. He has not got a single memorable episode.
And there's one which is potentially one of the worst episodes in all of Doctor Who. But hey, there we go.
Oh, damn, he said it. He said it without telling me what it was.
Yeah, because I kind of want to save it.
Cool. I was looking. Just a peek behind the curtain. There was an editing note there, so I was just coming back in with nothing. I've got. Oh no, this is the worst note to come back in on.
Oh, is this your
No, that's later. That's later.
Okay.
This is Lazarus. It's worse, to be honest. This one, Lazarus is entering his pedo era.
Oh no. What the fuck, man?
He is 78 years old, denying the love of an old woman. This can only end badly.
How does that make him a pedo?
Because he's like 78, and now he's like, now I'm eligible for younger girls.
Ah, okay, right.
Because he immediately knobs.
Lawrence, please.
Because he immediately.
Oh my god.
He immediately kills his old wife, and then's like, "Where's Tish? Where's that girl that smelled of fresh soap earlier?"
He doesn't immediately kiss her. He has a go. First of all, they have a little smooch, which looks odd. It's visually just very disturbing. Really.
Yeah. I don't know if that's us being ageist, but it is odd.
I don't think so. It'd be odd either way. Really.
Yeah, I guess so.
Think of a fucking 70-year-old man just kissing a 30-year-old woman.
Oh, what? Tish?
Yeah.
Do they kiss?
No. But I'm saying, like, if it was the other way around.
Oh, I see. I was like,
Yes.
fuck, I was terrified for Tish then.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird.
Tish should be all for it. She quickly changed her tune.
Yeah. Once she saw that he was like a weird CGI monster, I would change my tune.
Once she saw Professor Hottie Mark Gatiss, she was like, oh, ring-a-ding-ding. I'll have some of this. Thank you.
Wow, look.
Tish is literally the embodiment of that. Have you seen that weird sexist meme that's like, it's like a woman in an office and there's like a handsome guy in a suit and he's like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, oh, so handsome. And then there's just like a kind of like fat guy in a suit. He's like, hi, how are you? And she's like, oh, I'm calling the police or something. That's literally Tish. In this episode. Anyway, I don't endorse weird misogynistic memes, but
yeah, that is weird and misogynistic.
Yeah.
If that to create a meme like that screams very much that you're the fat guy that people keep running from.
Yeah. You are the Lazarus Project or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got down a note that says I love Martha and the Doctor as like an intelligence team.
Yes.
Like Rose's strengths were far more like practical.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not making any comment on her intelligence, right, at all, because she is very like she got a lot of stuff done because she was just like the Doctor was kind of tiptoeing around stuff and she was like, just fucking kick the door down and walk in or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was very much Rose's thing. Martha's thing is very much like he's like, look at me, it worked. I'm great. I'm a miracle walking or whatever. And she's like, you need to do some tests. And then he's like, no, I don't. And so she offers up her hand to be kissed. And she's like, I've got his DNA. Let's go do some fucking tests.
Here's the thing. Is that how DNA works? Can you shake shake someone's hand and then be like, oh, I've got your DNA? Like, surely your hand is contaminating that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I raise you this.
Okay.
They travel in time.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, but like the DNA.
And this man is a lizard or something.
It's true, yeah. And he was always a lizard or something. He had like lizards in his DNA or whatever.
I like that. I like that element. It's like humanity's rejected evolution concepts that are dormant in him.
Yeah, but
I thought it was more clever than the episode warranted.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It just seemed a bit strange. Like the idea of humanity is like, which one should we go with? Should we go for this weird fucking scorpion, fucking death monster,
Or this drastically change,
or this guy called Jeff here?
Yeah. Or this weird blonde man.
Which one should we go with?
Yeah. Humanity flips a coin or something.
Right. The beast itself.
Yes.
What a fucking awful piece of shit. It's so ugly. Look. I know I don't like to bash the way things look on Doctor Who too much because we all know the budget isn't great, but I feel like that's no excuse for Series 3 because the budget is probably at least 3 times higher than it was in Series 1. And
Season 1 gave us the Slovenes.
Season 1 gave us the Slovenes. Even the Jagrafess looked better than this piece of shit.
Yeah,
this looks like a fucking... Like, it looks like Scorpion from the PS1 Spider-Man game. Okay? It looks so fucking bad.
It's been so long since I thought of that.
It looks horrendous. Okay?
I've got like my main notes on like the design of the thing itself. Firstly, I don't know whether it's more lizard or more spider. Like, it doesn't really comfortably sit in either one of them.
I see scorpion, isn't it? That's what I see.
Yeah, but it's got all... Scorpion's got all the legs, like, I suppose, yeah. Travel. Yeah, scorpion, we'll go with that. We'll go with that, he says, mainly because he realised he was wrong. It was a scorpion. So I've got...
Quick thing, do you remember last week when I had to explain how a basement works to you?
I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there last week. That was someone else. The face design on... this is my note, I'm reading it verbatim. The face design on the big PS1 cutscene Scorpion, I wrote Scorpion, is so stupid, and it's front-facing all the time. Like, they needed a clear design to constantly animate his face onto it. If you look at it, every single time, he is just facing the camera in a bizarre way, because they just needed a flat 2D surface to put Mark Gatiss face on.
Yeah, and it looks awful. Doesn't even look like Mark Gatiss.
No, it doesn't. It looks like some bizarre thing.
Yeah.
That, like, it looks like if you asked a child to draw Mark Gatiss.
Yeah. And they were bad at art.
Yeah. And dead.
All right. Whoa. I got dark. Wow.
But that is fine. And my other thing with it is it's there's no transformation scene, which is a big issue for me.
Well, there is. We just don't see it.
Yeah, exactly. But when it's cut away and stuff, like, you can't call that the finished article. I don't know what happens to him.
We hear it. We hear the bones cracking, and then he's writhing her on the floor, and she's like, "Are you okay?" Sure, clearly not.
He's becoming a lizard thing.
And then they do that classic Doctor Who thing where they'll show it from his point of view, and the camera will have a weird filter on it now.
It was cute at first. Now it's getting old.
Yeah.
I remember that was a massive part of something we praised in Father's Day.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, you got one trick, I see. Yeah.
You doing this one again, are you? All right.
Yeah. Ooh, the POV shot. Yay.
Oh, yay. Okay.
But I think the thing that, like, there's a reason that this isn't like a memorable villain, and a big part of it is the transformation thing. Like, and the Slovenes, right? The zip on the forehead, visually cool. Yes, the CGI was ropey in some of those scenes.
Yeah.
But, like, the practical design of the Slovenes
it wasn't always
great.
CGI, though. That's the thing.
It was mostly not.
Yeah.
Which is, I still laugh at how, like, they're the best predators in the galaxy, and, like, they can't fucking move, let alone, like...
awful.
But yeah, I think that's my thing. You don't see a transformation. You just don't feel like it's real. It never feels real.
Yeah.
And that's strange. Also, there's the whole, like, personality thing. He's like, his goal is, as a 78-year-old man, live longer. Like this, dude?
Like a big weird scorpion bug who's just constantly got to, like, suck people, I guess.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, if this happened to me, I would be the first person to admit, yeah, I weren't expecting this. This went wrong.
Also, that's not sustainable. You're having to, like, kill someone every, like, 30 seconds. You'll burn through the entire population in, like, a week.
I've got that down as well. After he transforms, he still wants to take this to market, right? He still wants to present this as, like, a viable business plan.
Yeah.
When the predators outweigh the prey, you will die. That's a food chain. That's how it works.
Yeah.
If there are 20 of you and you all need to go and eat someone, soon enough you're going to run out of people.
Bit of fun though.
It is a bit of fun. I've got to note this as the Doctor seems so unhuman in the way that there's like an old lady's dead corpse and he just goes squeezed like an orange. And it's like, and Martha's looking at him like, "Are you all right?"
Oh yeah, that is quite strange. Very strange.
Very fun. But,
should we pick it up a little bit because this is getting quite long?
yeah, we got to start racing through some of these notes.
Yeah.
I realised it was me that had the notes. Right, here's one. You can give me a quick reaction to this one. The Doctor petrol bombs Lazarus.
Very fun. I quite like it. I like it when he does a bit of on-the-fly science and he just bundles some shit together and just has a go of it. Yeah,
he flicks on the in-desk Bunsen burners and is like, that's enough for a gas explosion.
Bunsen burners come up in Doctor Who quite a lot. A surprising amount, I feel like.
When else?
I don't know. Wasn't there just one with the Daleks?
Oh, I think that was more of a test tube sonic thing.
No, I think there was a Bunsen burner.
Maybe there was a Bunsen burner. Who knows? I'm just sorry. I just remembered Catherine's a scientist and is listening to this episode. Like, shut up, shut up.
Sorry, Catherine. Do you remember? I think they also used. They probably used the school reunion episode. They would have used the gas taps.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To blow up the school. I was always playing with those gas taps.
I was as well.
Probably like a bad idea, but like.
Yeah, definitely got some poisoned air at some point. Yeah. I liked it when I turned them on and they went...
Yeah, me too. I was like, haha, this makes my brain feel good.
Makes the room go wee. Okay, next note. The Doctor hiding in the thing makes for some good comedy and is also smart writing. Hiding in the only thing Lazarus won't destroy. I did appreciate it.
I appreciate that. And I think, surprisingly, I think that's when the episode looks the best.
Yeah,
well.
right.
Really, yeah.
Because they move the camera in a direction that isn't facing someone.
They really like just got crammed up in the box and then just like shoved the camera in there as well, and it's also quite good.
I applaud them because it so easily could have turned into Martha being like, "We're pushed up together."
Yeah, that's true. It very could have, but it didn't.
And it didn't because she was more preoccupied with the thing trying to eat her, which makes sense for how a woman would react in that scenario.
That's very true. If it did, then yeah, that would have been quite strange. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already I don't know why I keep trying to transition back into this vibe of like, all Doctor Who is good Doctor Who. This sucks. Like, this is a bad episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah. It's not a highlight, is it?
No. I've put down. Well, we've already spoken about the Lazarus being morphed into like essentially rejected evolution concepts. I do think that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Martha's mum slaps the Doctor. The Doctor is 2 for 2 on companion mum slaps.
Yeah, that's fair. 10 never got slapped by Jackie.
Yeah, but it's still Jackie and the Doctor.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I gotta go with it.
Yeah.
Jackie would never to 10.
It's true. I feel like that's true. I don't feel like she would.
She got more respect for 10, I think.
She does. She hated 9. No, she didn't hate him, but
she learned to accept him and get on with him.
Yeah, their relationship had grown by the time that 10 came around. I feel like. Yeah.
And she was like, it's less weird to see this man with my daughter, so I'll accept this one a bit more.
Yes, this one is a little bit younger, I guess.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Leo does some world-class snake call-outs when Martha's like, it's a good thing the Doctor was here, and he was like, well, technically it's Tish's fault, because Tish... How is it Tish's fault?
I was like, no, he's got a point.
Nah, come on, that's snake behaviour. It's just out Tish. Tish is like the head of, like, fucking... event organizing or PR or something.
Yeah, but the Jones family are there because of her. They like
doesn't make it her fault.
No, I know, but it's their fault that they're there. It's Tish's fault that they are there.
If I'm on my way to pick you up from an airport and I get in a car crash, that is not your fault.
No. Well, kind of is.
No.
Because it's not directly my fault.
It's just a chain of events, but there's no blame placed on you.
No, yes, it's not directly my fault, but like if it wasn't for me, that wouldn't have happened to you though.
Yeah, but it's circumstantial because of you.
Yes. So it's indirectly my fault.
Fault implies there's who gives a fuck, to be honest?
Yeah. We're
like, let's speed it up and then let's debate this scenario that didn't happen. The Doctor was there in the Blitz. We saw it. Perhaps the remastered edition of Season 1, which they just announced, can insert a Lazarus Easter egg in the Blitz.
I don't think they'll do that. But did you take it to mean I guess that makes sense, really, but I don't know.
Probably a much posher part of London, but
I feel like it's probably one of those things where it's like, it's such a big event, the Blitz. He's probably been there multiple times in multiple forms, really.
Oh yeah, whenever he speaks about stuff like this, I never really. Obviously, it's easy to jump to. We saw an episode with it.
He is literally there again as Matt Smith, so
that's true.
Yeah.
So there is 9, 10, and is there 10?
Well, the Blitz is like it wasn't like a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's that famous. It was afternoon, wasn't it? I thought.
Oh yeah, it was wrapped up in an hour.
Churchill was like, "That's enough Blitz, boys."
Yeah, pack it in though. And Germany was like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Sorry, guys. Yeah, off we go. Let's pack this one up.
Oh, that was bad. Oof, we are sorry. Oh.
We found the one accent you can't do.
Mein Schnitzel. Oh, Adolf will be so cross. Oh.
All right, fine. It's getting better. Fine. Philosophical debate about death's conceptual relationship with humanity. Interesting. Facing death is a part of humanity. Avoiding death is also part of it. That's true.
Yes. Yeah. Did some of this? Is this the bit where Tennant's like some people can live more in 80 years than 20, and it's not the time, it's the person and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did some of this not seem like a bit rich coming from you, mate? Though.
What, 10?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the man's practically immortal.
Yeah, and
he's immortal with a stipulation.
An immortal god just preaching about how morality is necessary and you need to die.
Yeah, it came across as a bit hypocritical, but like we get it, right? Like he's like Lazarus is the Doctor doesn't need to eat people.
Yeah, that is a big factor. What he's saying is true. It all makes sense, and yes, I fully agree with his point. It's just the fact that he's saying it.
Yeah.
Like,
I genuinely, this is one of the scenarios where there's some stuff that needs to come from the Doctor in this, but there's also a lot of stuff that makes more sense coming from Martha.
Yeah,
a doctor.
Yeah, this could have words coming from Martha quite a bit as well.
Yeah, someone who's training people to save lives, but also knowing how to deal with lives being ended.
Yeah, knowing when to stop and when to say goodbye and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. But I don't feel like that episode had this intelligence to do that.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, the Doctor is tired of watching things turn to dust, and you believe him. I think I've got a note about Tennant's performance. He feels really old in this scene.
He does, actually. Yeah, he does play that part quite well. There's quite a few moments from Tennant where you do really get a sense of the age of the Doctor in this episode, and it's quite good.
It's his eyes, man. He just looks done. He looks tired of it. I've got a note that says, and this is, we did touch on this earlier. This episode, this episode came out on May the 4th, 2007.
Oh, did you look this up?
I did.
Okay, may the 4th be with you.
Thank you, you too. But that wasn't the point I was making, but thank you.
And also with you should say.
And also with you, Nathan.
Thank you.
So this episode of Doctor Who came out the 4th of May, 2007.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3
came
out on the 5th of May, 2007.
See, I also thought about this. I was like, did this person rip off Spider-Man 3? And then I thought, well, no, because they would have came out the same year.
Well, all I'm saying is Sam Raimi had a one-day window to make some changes. And I'm not sure. There's a mutation in a clock tower, and both of the villains meet their demise at the hand of organ pipes.
Oh, so you're saying Sam Raimi is the thing? Sam Raimi...
I think he did it.
Sam Raimi watched an episode of British sci-fi show Doctor Who, and then was like, oh shit, we gotta reshoot the Venom scene now.
Do you want to know someone else?
Go on.
There's also a fully naked man, half covered in shadow in a clock tower.
Yes.
That had the cadence of I have more points. I don't, but I'm going to say this like I do.
Yes. So, yeah. See, I see what you're saying, and I see the point you're trying to make, but I feel like the exact opposite of the point is made, considering all this stuff came from a comic book years and years beforehand.
Look. Yes. Right, you're correct.
Okay.
I'm just saying you can't argue with those dates.
Maybe, who wrote this? Stephen Greenhorn saw the 90s animated cartoon, the animated is cartoon, yeah. The Spider-Man
Greenhorn
series.
saw that, made this, and then Raimi was like, Spider-Man 3 just isn't working and it's supposed to come out in theatre in 12 hours.
Yeah.
And then went, watch this episode quickly as it was showing at 7 p.m. that night and went, call Tobey Maguire. Call him now.
Quick. Get Toby, get Topher. We got to get to the church quickly.
It would explain why they had to use a stunt double for Tobey Maguire's back in that scene.
I mean, there's already an explanation for that.
Yeah, it's that he didn't want to get ripped.
Yeah.
Good on him. That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fucking stupid era for being like, are you taking steroids? Yes, then you can be Spider-Man, a famously slender superhero. So I've said everyone. We touched on this anyway. I said everyone gives the Doctor shit for death and destruction following him everywhere, but this connection was entirely Martha's. If the Doctor wasn't there, they're likely all dead.
Yeah, I think they would be. Yeah, everyone would have got. I think the machine would have blown up and everyone would have died or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Or Lazarus would have got out and slowly killed everyone.
Yeah, and then there'd just be a big bug running around.
I skipped over this earlier, but there is a moment where Tish and Lazarus are on the roof. This is not the note you think it is.
Okay.
Nathan was scared I would dust off my Lazarus got that rooftop riz. No. But no, there is. I just want to give you the platform. I know that maybe not so much in this podcast, but it has been known in our other podcast that there is a noted London skyline sequence that we see.
Yes.
Any thoughts? You don't have to. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Look, I know it's not London. They do because they do show St. Paul's Cathedral and it's very clearly just CGI'd in.
Yeah.
But like, it's at nighttime. Whatever. It's less egregious when it's at night because then it's dark enough. I can't necessarily see all the landmarks that well. So whatever. I know it's not because I know exactly where it is. It's Cardiff Museum, a filming location they use time and time and time. Trust me, we're gonna keep coming back to this place, mate. Get used to it because it's gonna show up a lot. All right.
All right.
I've been to it myself. It's a nice museum, but like once I went to Cardiff Museum, I was like, this looks familiar.
Okay, fair enough.
And then if you like Sherlock, guess what shows up a lot in that show as well? It's a filming location which is used all the time.
BBC, like, there can't be much going on in the... of course, there's nothing going on in the Cardiff Museum. What am I talking about?
No, it's not the history of Cardiff, Lawrence. It's all the shit that we, the British, stole from everywhere else, isn't it?
Oh, I see. Oh, then
you ever been to the British Museum?
Yes.
None of it is British.
Look at this thing we put in glass. The pride of Britain.
Was that James Acaster joke about this? He's like, we're still looking at it.
Yeah. You can't have it. We're not
Finders keepers.
Oh, James Acaster is one of the funniest people alive.
Oh, he's very
so
funny.
good.
Yeah.
I've got a note. We can start talking about this now because this is stuff that we'll probably want to talk about. The next note I have is stop this one more trip nonsense.
Yeah. Well, they do, to be fair.
Yeah.
And Martha quite rightfully calls him out on it, I think. Like, she's like, I'm tired of being strung along because that's essentially what he's doing. He's like, just no commitments. Whoa, free and easy, you know. Hey,
this is the start of a relationship.
Yeah,
isn't
let's not put any labels on this. You know, let's take it easy. She's like,
you can see other time travelers. There aren't any, but you could.
Yeah, let's just take it easy. You know, we'll play the field. We'll have some fun. And she's like, no, right, I need to know. Are we in or are we out?
Yeah.
Good for her. Good for her, really, for like putting her foot down and being like, I either let me come or don't. Just fucking what's going on here? And I like that moment from her, really.
He's got a line that says, "Well, you were never really just a passenger, were you?" And I was like, well, "She was, because you kept telling her."
Yeah, you kept reinforcing the idea that she was. You kept threatening like just one trip, Martha. Yeah. And then you're going home.
One more, then back in the TARDIS.
I'll take you home and you'll never come back.
You'll have a boring life.
Without me.
If Rose can't have it, then no one can.
Yeah.
He says as he screams at the console. That was all in that 5 seconds before he came back at the start of the episode as well.
Yeah,
that was what he was doing in the TARDIS.
That was all squeezed in there. But yeah, no, he comes to his senses. They agree to go on, and they do. And then there's a phone call from Francine being like, "I've still got beef, and I'll never let it go."
Yeah, I love that.
The beef is more justified now, though.
It is. There's cause for the beef at this point.
Because it's not her beef. She's been fed the beef.
Yeah. I wonder what... We never get to hear what was said. How much do we think she knows?
I hate that, by the way. I fucking hate that trope.
Give us the sizzle.
I know. Just the trope of like, oh, there's something you need to know. And then it's the lean in and whisper. No one's here.
Yeah.
Why are we
we're the audience. We're the people that are meant to be let in on this kind of stuff.
I want to... You know that I don't like not knowing things.
Yeah. I like, if I have to tell Nathan anything, right, like, I will need to, like, know exactly what it is that I am, like, I can't forget a point midway through making it, because he will go out of his mind for, like, a week on it.
I need to know. Like, I need to know, It's not, I don't like there being information that I'm not privy to. It just doesn't sit
I don't
well with me.
think it's so much that, it's more if I started to tell you, then you're like, now what? Tell me more.
Well, it's unsatisfying if it's not resolved. Like,
I remember once I was like, my wife's ill with something, and you were like, what's happened? What's wrong with her? And I went, I don't know. She's just a bit ill. Like, and you're like, is it something she ate? And I'm like, why are you invested? Like,
well, you should be. This is your wife. You should be invested.
Yeah, but I am invested. But I don't need to bring it up.
I need to know these things.
It's true. So you can send her a fruit basket.
which I often do. Is that it?
I wanted to speak about Martha's mum's voicemail. I think it's such good sizzle for the series.
Yeah.
Like, something that season 2 had, yes, it had it had a lot of, like, Rose returning home, and Jackie was out of the loop.
Yeah.
Jackie would always need to be caught up. And I think it's so interesting that Martha is uncontactable.
Yeah.
But also, we know, and the Doctor's going to go off and he's going to do... I know for a fact, I can't remember the exact run of episodes, but I know there's at least 3 episodes, possibly more, until we even touch back in with Martha's family. So for 3 episodes, we know that Martha's mum is sat there being like, probably knows the Doctor is bad news, probably knows that there's, like, more to his story than he's letting on.
I think it might be until the 2-part finale.
I mean, maybe. It could be.
I think it might, off the top of my head.
Yeah, because you've got the 2-parter, you've got 42, you've got Blink.
We got 42, Human Nature, Family of Blood, Blink, which is kind of modern day Earth, but yeah, they're not in it. Yeah. Utopia, yeah, it is. It's
oh my god, yeah. So for the rest of the series now,
unless there's just like at the end of one episode, there's a little, but I don't think there is.
Yeah, I just think it does something that Doctor Who doesn't normally do, because it's very episodic, it's very Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
And for them to set up quite a damning B plot back home, while we also know that there's like this Saxon thing that keeps coming up.
See, what I like about the Saxon thing is like when we've had Bad Wolf and Torchwood and stuff, I feel like those were like kind of intentionally hidden. And then it was one of those things to be like, or it's always been looming there in the background, but only now you've noticed it. Whereas the whole Saxon thing, it's kind of front and center. It's kind of like, no, this is something you should be aware of, and this is something bad. Like, something is coming. Like,
they make a point, and when you hear Sax, and like also for it to be like Bad Wolf was interesting, but it was a new concept. It was Rose puts the time vortex in her head. It was something we never would have guessed.
Yeah.
When the Saxon build up pays off, and Harold Saxon is the master. Yeah. In the Master's return to Doctor Who. Yeah. That's fucking insane. What are you giggling about?
I've just been, because I've been watching The Crown a lot recently. I've just been thinking. Now that I've seen, I kind of knew quite a bit like about how the role of the Prime Minister works, but now that I've been watching The Crown and I can see like the weekly appointments that the Prime Minister has with the Queen and stuff, I'm just like, can you imagine just John Sim going to meet the Queen and be.
Well, we see in Voyage of the Damned, we see the back of the Queen. That Queen is not serious. That Queen's like, bye, Doctor.
She's like, thank you, Doctor. Goodbye.
Yeah. She's not serious, man. The Harold Saxon's going there like, Your Majesty, and she's like, ooh, who are you?
She knows of the Doctor, so maybe they've met.
Maybe. You
Interesting.
would have fucked a
Great.
however old.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But it's not direct though. Like,
Oh no, it's not, is it? Yeah.
no, it's like, there's all kinds of incest going on there and shit. But
Our monarchy makes sense as a concept and in theory and practice.
and it's good, and we all should love it and keep it forever.
Everyone loves the monarchy. It's not at all pointless and a burden on our fucking economy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes.
What was next, Lawrence?
What was next was your little finger touching that button for the theme.
No, before we do that, I'll just go into some...
We have spoken about the last shot of the episode. What more could you possibly have?
Well, like, just before we recorded, I remembered that I should tweet out and get some thoughts.
Oh, okay. Did we get any?
We did, actually. I actually...
One more than we got last week.
Actually, we did get one last week, but it was, like, sent in the day after we recorded, unfortunately. I can read it out now, though.
Yeah, go
where is
Let it not be said we don't. I can't think we went off so hard last week about not getting any. That imagine if we didn't respond to this.
So very sorry, Damn the Lamb at Damn the Lamb on Twitter for last week said, forgot how obsessed with the cult of Skaro I was as a kid until I rewatched the episode. Great two-parter for the Daleks. However, I wish it came later in the series because it is so close to Doomsday. I will never unsee how moist human sex tentacles are. So, there you go. Good bit of fun.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that summed up the point that we made last week anyway. Like, the second half of that two-parter really redeemed its existence.
Yeah.
But also, it's definitely quite close to Doomsday.
Yeah. Isaac, this isn't related to this week's episode, but Isaac Richardson tweeted that as well in reply to Sexy Hands. He said, "Re Sexy Hands. Apparently, it's a big thing in Pride and Prejudice too. Don't ask me how I came about this knowledge. That is all."
Fair enough.
There you go.
I would
Sexy
imagine
Hands.
that person has seen Pride and Prejudice.
Maybe read Pride and Prejudice.
I forget that it's a book.
Maybe they watch the BBC version of Pride and Prejudice to comfort themselves and have been called out by a specific movie of late.
Yes, I get the joke.
Barbie.
Maybe they watched Pride and Prejudice and thought, that man that plays the titular Pride or Prejudice is a very good actor, and I should check out what else he's on, that being HBO's Succession. Playing the character of Tom Wamsgans.
Isn't it not Colin Firth, the other one?
Matthew McFadden.
No, not Colin.
I mean, that's who it is. That's the titular Pride or Prejudice.
But I thought it was the other one.
Hugh Grant?
No. Oh, well, Colin Firth then.
Colin Firth?
Yeah, isn't he Mr. Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy?
No, that's definitely Matthew McFadden.
But
I promise you I'm not wrong.
In which version, though? Because I'm
I don't
sure
know, the one
there's a
everyone
version-
talks about.
I'm sure there's a version with Colin Firth.
There probably is.
Well, then I'm right. Anyway, so literally just before we recorded, I posted a video on our Twitter, just asking for any replies or whatever. And we have two. So Scott, in the name of love, who I believe has been doing a stint at Edinburgh Fringe recently.
Yeah, we know Scott.
Is that
Scott's
still
cool
on?
guy.
Can we still go? Let me see. We'll give him a shout out. Yeah. I don't know if he's still doing this. If you know anyone at Fringe, let them know my company is just giving sketches away for free at the Tonics Caves in the fancy room at 12:50 every day. So there you are. If you're in Edinburgh, go to the Tonics Caves. The fancy. I don't know if this is still ongoing. But maybe, I don't know. Try your luck.
I've had the pleasure of acting with Scott in the past, and I can tell you that he single-handedly saved my performance grade for a certain semester.
He is a very, very talented, very beautiful man. So go check that out. Maybe
I think I've given him a kiss at one point as well. I'm fairly
we've all
certain
given
we've had
Scott a kiss. We've all had a kiss with Scott.
Yeah.
Scott says, maybe the silliest episode for me never resonated with Scorpion Bloke or his suck powers. So there we go.
Fair enough.
And then lastly, this week, our resident scientist, Catherine, friend of the show, Martha is finally freed from her leather jacket. She was wearing that look for weeks. And that's true, yeah. First episode without the jacket in a while, so
Call
Martha
us
switching up.
sexist because we did not talk about Martha's looks.
We didn't, to be fair. Ah, it's true. Yeah. Well, yeah, she did switch it up for the first time in quite a while this week.
Yeah. And 42 is next week, right?
Yeah. I like that they've just let Frima keep her tattoo as well.
Yeah, it makes more sense than...
just
like,
covering it up.
What was
really.
the other option?
Yeah. But it's not offensive. It's just a little thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Imagine it was just some heinous fucking symbol on her forehead or something.
Fuck the monarchy.
No, keep that. If she was paired with a Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston would have refused to do it unless they had that tattoo out.
The BBC would never. They'd be like, absolutely fucking not. But yes, very good
that
point.
pairing of Christopher Eccleston and the BBC is so funny.
He's done lots of work with the BBC.
No, I know, but just like how vocal Christopher Eccleston is, like you bring up the Queen and he's like, glad she's dead, fuck her.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone so vocal about hating the monarchy as much as him.
You know me.
That's true, yeah. But you're watching The Crown, you little fucking...
No, it's different. Leave me alone. Hold on, sorry. I'm just seeing that the tweet I put out says it's got 3 replies, but I can only see 2. So I think that means someone who's on private might have replied to it. And if you are on private, then I might not be able to see it.
Joe has said, the big Mark Gatiss spider scorpion legit did creep me out when I first saw it, and the sounds he makes when transforming were gross as fuck. They were quite guttural, weren't they?
It was very bone crunching and very...
Yeah. Oh, but I think he's talking like less the sound effects, more like the sounds coming from Mark Gatiss's mouth on set, which were very
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite weird, quite gross.
I respect the commitment to it.
Yeah.
Nathan, press the fucking button.
Weirdo of the Week! Weirdo.
Woohoo! This is everyone's favourite segment of the show where we get to take a chance to look back and reflect on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little characters who come across our screens each and every week whilst we're watching this silly little show that is Doctor Who. Lawrence, who is your... I just completely blanked out while I'm saying that. That is completely autopilot by this point. Lawrence, who is your weirdo for this week?
Thanks for that. So there is a woman as the party is about to be evacuated.
This is the olive woman.
Yes, this is the olive woman. This woman runs front and center and says, "What are you talking about? The biggest danger here is someone choking on an olive."
Yes.
And then I've put, said the woman who not 20 minutes ago witnessed a high-powered machine malfunction with whizzing, spinning components that started smoking and almost set on fire.
And almost blew up everyone there.
That party should have been cancelled way before he turned into a scorpion man.
He really should have, to be honest, yeah.
It should have had, like, that thing should have had, like, tests done on it. Like, is this safe to be around people?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
100%.
she's my weirdo. I like her confidence in wanting to have more olives and wine.
So my weirdo for this week, Lawrence, this is quite personal, to be honest. And quite, not really personal. Personal is probably not the right word, but like...
Wait, for setup, Nathan told me if I were to guess this correctly, I would get half of his paycheck for the month.
I actually said my whole paycheck. You were the one who said.
I brought it down to a respectable amount that I could feasibly hold you to.
So my weirdo, Lawrence, is Mark Gatiss himself.
Okay, right, yeah. A rare fourth wall break weirdo.
And it is. This is a fourth wall break. And this is only because of a very specific reason. And this happens every time I see Mark Gatiss in something now. And that is because at one point, a few years ago, Mark Gatiss retweeted pictures of a friend of ours who we went to uni with. He had done some nude modelling, I guess, and Mark Gatiss just retweeted the pictures of that, and I saw Mark Gatiss retweet a drawing of my friend's dick on my Twitter timeline, and that is why he is my weirdo for this week.
Was there like Was Mark Gatiss involved, or did he just like the piece?
I don't believe he was involved at all. I think he would possibly have known the artist or something. But he just retweeted the drawings that were posted, and I was like, "This is fucking. This is Minecraft, and fuck it, this guy is just retweeting this. I won't say his name, but this guy I went to uni with, Dick, and I've had a drink with, and done some weird shit, and like this.
Hang on, let me help you from being reductive. Like, I'd imagine it was a nice artistic rendering.
It was a beautiful drawing. No, it was absolutely.
Yeah, you're like his dick.
No, yeah, it's very tasteful. It's beautiful. It's like I say, it's nude art. It's very tasteful. It's very beautiful stuff. But it's just the fact that his Mark Gatiss retweeting my friend's penis, which is just very strange to me.
This podcast can never end. It will never be complete until Mark Gatiss has retweeted both drawings of our dicks.
Well, I'm never getting a drawing of my penis done.
I might get mine done.
I don't want to discuss our penises on this podcast.
That's fair. That's completely fair. If you want to hear us not discuss our penises any further, then you can head on over to Twitter /X. No, yes, my apologies. Just Twitter. I heard it's never being called anything else.
Yes.
We are on there. We are on Instagram. We are at Still Got Legs Pod. That's how you can find us. That is where Nathan posts things that you can respond to and get featured in an episode, which is everyone's dream and ambitions.
Everyone's dream is to get posted, is to be featured on this very middling podcast that we do. It's very niche.
We got some fans.
What? Yeah, we got quite a lot of American listeners, to be fair.
Have we really?
Most of them are British, but our next biggest demographic is Americans after that.
Fair enough.
So yeah, quite a few. Quite a few. What else?
I don't know. It's you took over the outro.
Yeah, okay.
You can also give us a little 5-star review if you like. There's a new era of Doctor Who approaching fast, and we're trying to get new fans up to speed. We're having a good time rewatching the show. If you know Whovians, if you know soon-to-be Whovians, give them a little recommendation. Let them check us out. And maybe give us a little review as well. Helps promote the show, but also is fun to spread the love and joy of Doctor Who, which can often be a very toxic place, so let's get some more good folk involved. You see how I turn that around into making it like a plea for goodwill, when actually I just want people to like and support this podcast.
And also review us 5 stars or I'll stab you.
That's something that we'll do. We can enforce that. We have knives.
I've got one right now.
Oh, God.
I literally do.
Oh, my God, he does. Why is that on your desk? Is that your letter opener?
It is. It's my letter knife. Yeah, I use this to open my mail.
You know they have letter openers. They're things that exist.
I'm not going to buy a letter opener when I just own a knife. You know when you get a set of 5 knives and you're like, oh, I'll never use this one for anything. This could be my letter knife.
It's not big enough for a loaf of bread, but too big to butter something. I'll put this one in the office.
It's too big for vegetables, but it's not big enough for bread and that sort of stuff. So it's letters. So.
The nothing knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
The knife for no one. So that's good. If you don't give us a little review, Nathan will stab you. And new episodes of this show come out every single Monday at 10 a.m. But new episodes of our other show come out when, Nathan?
They come out every Friday at 10 a.m. Maybe we should drop the 10 a.m. thing, because it's very rare that we actually stick to that.
The morning.
Sometime.
They come out normally in the a.m.
Yeah. Sometimes not even.
Yeah. They come out Fridays at 10 a.m. 100% of the time that we've edited them by that time.
Yes. And other times we're editing them at 10:30 on that morning, being like, gotta make it to the deadline.
Yeah,
but it's already
it's
passed.
Fucking. We've missed people's commute. They're catching up at lunch anyway.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, Another Happy Pod is our pop culture podcast where we talk about all things in that realm: movies, TV shows, video games. Our most recent episode was Jedi Survivor. The Star Wars video game, and our next episode we're kicking off the Hunger Games series with the Hunger Games.
4 movies, three episodes.
4 movies, 3 episodes. Yeah, but
not
one is
just
a
big long movie.
Yeah.
It was that time in 2010 when they were like, let's make one movie but really long for no reason.
No, but we're not splitting them up the way you think. We'll do we'll do Hunger Games and Catching Fire in one episode, and then we'll do one episode on Mockingjay Part 1 and then one on Mockingjay Part 2.
Or we'll start in a precarious order and then we'll do half of a film in one episode.
we'll do Hunger Games, Mockingjay, and the other one in one episode. And then we'll do Mockingjay Part 2 over 2 episodes. Great. Good stuff. Oh, no, it's the way that it makes sense. You can figure it out.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it makes more sense that way.
I am going to Greece.
Nathan is going to Greece. And we've got another episode to record, but Nathan still wants to do some filler, apparently.
Yeah. So, wish me well on my holiday to Greece. Although, I think the next 2 episods will be recorded before I go as well.
I can't stress this enough. We're recording this for an hour and a half at this point.
I'll be around. Anyway, I should probably wrap this up. Any final thoughts, Lawrence, before I bring in the ending theme tune that will cut you off?
Yes. These are my thoughts. I sure hope the ending doesn't cut me off anytime.
Goodbye.
Oh, no!